And hello to all my Scorpio friends. I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free Psychic Tarot reading for September 2023. Now today they have dialed up for my great Scorpios a storyline spread, but this is no normal average storyline spread. They wanted to focus on the work corner. Big place, work, business, enterprise, area of study, collegiate courses, retirement, if you're of that age, entrepreneurship, learning new things, hobbies and interests for most people, the JOB. But you can see it is a big corner of a lot of people's lives, and they wanted to tell you something very specific about it to the point where they're doing a storyline spread for you today, Scorpio. They want your monthly reading to be about it, so we're telling different stories for different Scorpios, going through different things, telling 3, 4, or 5 different stories in the storyline format. It allows me to be very accurate because it's telling a bunch of mini stories, bunch of mini readings all in one. And the whole idea here is to find the story that is right for you. There may be parts of the multiple stories that resonate with you, but at the end of the day, we're looking for the one that is a home run. It is all about you. We're going to do that today. They've asked that I conclude your reading with angel protection cards. We're just going to do 2 of them, and that is basically going to give us a little extra push towards some of these stories, maybe a little extra incentive, a little extra information for you. Also going to conclude your reading with the Rune Stone, and we got a lot of brand new things going on here. I also got to tell you about. I'm not only going to do your moon cycles, not only going to tell you about the brand new service in the shop, but we're also doing a brand new thing called chemistry tracking. Chemistry tracking, very interesting one. Look at what is kicking, what you're vibing with, Scorpios, in the month of September, what sign you're vibing with well, what sign you're vibing with not so well in the month of September. We're going to look at all that stuff, guys. And we're also going to conclude your reading with something I call homily, which is a little lecture, a little spiritual pep talk, and give you some good perspective going into September. So we're going to get started right now, guys. The cards are already shuffled, and there is no time to waste. So we're going to get started right now. I'm going to bring you in the overhead cam, because I like to share my table with you and show you what's going on and what I'm working with. And there we go. We are live and recording, Scorpio. These are my ritual cuts, basically cutting each single deck into thirds, putting them back together in a separate order. It satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. It is the same procedure for personal, private readings, so it's just like you're here with me now. And you are. I should also tell you here, I've done a lot of work with the chapters, the YouTube description, and also the bar going across there. So if there's anything you want to skip over in this reading, you're able to do so very easily. But more importantly, if you want to come back to a certain point of the reading to watch it again, you can easily do so. So here we go with your storyline spread that is all about work. And any storyline spread starts with 5 cards. These are your base 5 cards, your core cards, and arguably the most important. We're going to keep going from there. I do need more. I did not get my stop order from Spirit. So here we go, continuing. And we are still going. We are now 7 cards in. There's number 8, and I'm still going, and there number 9. Number 9 is where I got my stop order from Spirit, Scorpio. It's because this woman here, the queen, is looking inwards. You got to pretend this is one big, long, continuing line. So it brackets me off like this. It's basically saying, hey, we're good here. We're good. Stop it. No more cards. So now we got to get stories together. Placement sometimes is tricky. This one's very clear. That's going to be one story right there. We see this all on a line here. Sometimes that makes it easier. This is going to be a story down here. Those are the last 2 cards. And then getting these together, these are tricky. It's going to be like this. I think you can see it all, hopefully. It is a complicated set between getting those apart, but figured it out. I got to use suits a lot of times to do that. So here we go. These are the 4 different stories for you. Now I need more information about it. And these are work stories. So this is where the table gets very full, and more than likely it'll get out of view. So I will move the camera around. Do not worry. I like to share my table with you and show you everything. Seeing if that's a guy. They say no. We're using energetic definition of the king. Tower card gets 2 cards, because that is a major arcana card. There we go there. Coming down here, I got my queen I got to check on. Is that a person? They say no. My lover's card, I need 2 cards there. That's a major arcana card. And the table's already very full. Let me find a way to do this a little bit better. There we go. And then over here, got to check on this knight. That is a person. They gave me another court card. That lets me know a person. And let's see what that person is doing, just because this story is extremely small. I got another person card, so I need to check one more time. Is this a person? They say no. Okay, so we're using energetic definition there. Okay, so that story, actually all the stories are done except for my Oracle Angel card. Every single story is going to get one of those. But first, checking the blockages, making sure I'm not too blocked out at any certain story. This one's going to come down to the wire, and so is this. Let's grab those angel cards first. That angel card came upright. So we got 1, 2, 3 out of 6. That's going to stay the same. Angel card here. That's inverted, but there's enough upright there. And upright here is good, so that's just a regular angel card. And then over here, it's going to be a very important one. This one came inverted, so I have enough blocked on that last story on my right that may be out of your view that I got to do a discard to see if Spirit wants to upright the whole thing, and they say yes. So this story is going to be read nice, clean, clear, and crisp. The order needs to stay the same, though. That is incredibly important to do so in tarot. And now, all the card work is done. It's just a matter of me showing you, so let me try to do that. We're going to just kind of go around my table. So this is going to be story 1. Not that king, though. Let me kind of put my hand there and block him out. There we go. So there's story 1. Story 2 is when we'll come up to there. We got a hello from heaven. Nice little pop in there from one of your loved ones, from somebody's. It's going to be story 2. Story number 3 down here with brilliant idea. And then story 4, we're going to wrap up with this big guy here, which is a manifester. Man, that is new moon energy right there all over the place, all the way down to the peace card. So let's get to work, guys. Let's do it. Lots to cover, Scorpio, all about work. Let's see what they wanted to talk about that was so relevant for your September about your work corner. Keep in mind that work corner is a big place. Just like I told you in the intro. I'm not going to tell you over and over for every story, but go back to that intro in case you're like, oh, well, I don't work right now, so it's not about me. Not necessarily. So, here we go. The first thing they want to bring up to attach to is a person. This is a young person. I have a knight. This is usually somebody who's 25 to 35, or at least acts that age. Okay, age is a little bit fluid. You know, you got 70-year-olds who act like they're 30. You got 18-year-olds who act like they're 40. You know, you just never know. So anyway, that is traditionally how it's done, though. We got 25 to 35-year-old there coming in, and they're coming in a little bit blocked. Why are they blocked? They're not doing something good here with work. They're struggling in this work corner in some regard. I'm not sure how exactly, but they're upside down about it. Maybe they're upset about it. Maybe they're out of work. Maybe they just hate their work. I'm not sure what's going on there. And if this is more than likely, this is not you that we're talking about here. This is more than likely somebody that is very close to you. But there is a possibility that it could be, so I don't want you to rule it out. So let me just tell you a little bit more about the story before you decide if this story is yours or not. Keep in mind we have 3 more coming. So the next thing they show here is action is needed in the work corner. So whoever this person is, they got to get going. And I'm assuming that this is coming up in your spread if it's not you, so that you can help give them a little friendly nudge, okay? A little tough love, perhaps, push in the right direction. They need a little bit of help here. They need to get moving with things, like yesterday, like August, okay? So this is old energy. We got to get moving here in the work corner. Taking action is the only way they're going to move forward with this. I don't know if that's applying for jobs, trying to get a better job, whatever it is. They bring in clairaudience next. In the card, it says to notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind or from other people. Long story short here, they're telling you, tell somebody else. Okay, this is for you to tell somebody else more than likely. Get them on the right page, okay? Be the little angel in their ear or on their shoulder, whispering in their ear, except maybe it's not a whisper. Maybe it's more of a yell, right? So anyway, the last thing that they're going to give us here, last little piece of information, is that this person has a tendency to learn lessons over and over, repeatedly. They struggle with it, and you know what? I don't know what you can do to assist that. Everybody's got their own path. This is somebody who struggles very hard and has to learn things the hard way. And, I guess just be aware of that. Maybe be a little gentle, but at the same time, tough. You got to find the right medium in there. So anyway, there's story 1, guys. And that's probably a very small part of my audience, but that is just where we started. We started on the left side of the table. Now let's get into story 2. Story 2 is our hello from heaven. That is that it's attached to my connector card, interestingly enough. So it's a pretty big deal. The first thing they're talking about here, let me see where I threw that one. That goes here. Okay. I had them a little bit bunched together. It messed me up, but now I get it. The first thing they're talking about is big money here, Scorpio. If you have just made a big chunk of money here, whether it's from inheritance, what makes me feel like the hello from heaven is coming from, or if this is just from another source, maybe you sold something, you got an influx of money, maybe some of you got a lucky scratch-off lottery ticket, I'm not sure what, but it's a nice little money indicator that shows that that's what's going on with the work corner right now. So maybe it's money through work, maybe it's not through work, but that's what they bring up first. The next thing they show here is trophy case. So it's like putting a trophy on the case. Very good energy, very good accomplishment of some form. And somebody is acknowledging this. I think this is where the hello from heaven is coming in. I think they're just kind of very proud of you here in this moment. And kind of a round of applause, giving you a hug, letting you know that they're good. In the card it says, that your loved ones in heaven are doing just fine. Let go of worries and feel their loving blessings. To me, I just look at this as like a, hey, letting you know that you did really good here. Good job, Scorpio, and we were here for this accomplishment. Maybe this is a job accomplishment for others of you. I feel like this is more like learning something, like a college class or an accreditation, getting credited for something. So anyway, good little accomplishment there, and your loved ones from the other side are also noticing. Very good. The next thing we show here is the Tower card. So there is a quick change coming here in this work corner for you. Despite the good stuff that has already kind of permeated and exists, there is more change coming. My Tower card is like, I call it my hurricane energy. It is sweeping change and it comes in quick. Okay, usually you don't see this coming, so more than likely you have no idea what I'm talking about. But I'm letting you know that there is change coming in September very quickly. So what they describe it here as is there's something that's toxic here. Something is coming in toxicity wise, needs a little purification. It's kind of on the negative side of things. It needs some work. Taking care of others can come up here, like if something is being neglected with that, maybe something with the family, something with a loved one. They bring in a loved one next here on a invert here. So I'm feeling like this is a breakup, a makeup, a shakeup of some form with another person. And this may be a person that is not a love connection, even though my cups are the love corner. They could just be showing me two people here. And since this is a work spread, this could be a coworker of yours. Not seeing eye to eye with them, getting in a fight with them. Maybe it's your boss. Maybe you are the boss. And, here we go. Fight, quarrel, not happening. Quick change. So there we go. That's basically the entire story that is being described. And keep in mind that when and if that comes up for you, if that is your story, because I feel like a lot of you don't know it is right now. And this may be something that you have to come back to if you're like, hey, that's probably not my story, but then, something major happens very quick for you in the work corner in September. You might want to come back to story 2, okay? Check that out again, because they show these two people upside down. Now let's get into story 3 right here, right in front of my face. We have the Lovers card that comes in first, and the card attachment, though, is, hey, you know what? Work has just not been going so well, though. It's weird because you're very nicely attached to your work. Maybe some of you even love what you do for work. Love the fact that you're out of work, that you're on vacation right now, something like that. Maybe some of you really love the fact that you're able to help people. I'm not sure, but they show that despite that fact, right now you're kind of looking at the downside of things. And I'm not really sure why. And I'm not even sure if Spirit knows why either. You're just kind of like either playing victim mode, or you're not sure what to do about something. You're kind of hanging your head and you're looking at kind of the wrong side of things. Where Spirit is saying, hey, you know what? You just got to turn the sucker around. You got to look at all the good stuff here, all the things that, that are working in your favor, working in your way. That's what we got to do here. We got to turn this thing around. And they show with the Lovers card, you and an entity working very well together. So I don't know if it's you and the job specifically, or if it's you and somebody at the job, maybe working together on a project or what they're talking about. But there's two things working together more than likely. If this is your story, in story 3, one of them is you. The next thing they show me here is a Queen of Swords. Let me just double check that. Let me see how I pulled that. Confusing myself a little bit here. Okay, there we go. Now I got it. All right, so I need to double check that queen is not a person. It's not. Okay, so they're talking about very much nurturing your mindset here. Okay, Scorpio, you got to get your head right. Make a plan, make some goals, set some... I was going to call it like long-term goals, but I want you to start thinking about things. 1 year from now, where do you want to be with work? Where do you want to be in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? Okay, and now kind of backtrack that. What are you doing right now to get there? That is what you need to start thinking about in the month of September about work. That's what they show, is really getting this right up here. Okay, because if it's not, and your intentions are not clear, Spirit doesn't know what to do with it. You're never going to be able to manifest it. It's like there's just kind of this disconnect going on, and we don't want that. We need a good connection going on. Right, Scorpio? The next thing we show here is nurturing the money. A lot of you here, Scorpios, are nurturing and kind of caring for this money, taking good care of it. And that is a little bit boring. It usually is. Saving is usually not exciting, but it's probably for a purpose. There's probably a reason behind this nurturing, which basically means saving. Saving, nurturing this money so that you can do something else with it, something like that. Now, the boring part, Spirit here is kind of, when that card comes up, they're calling for you to get excited about something. It doesn't have to be saving. There's a lot of things you can get excited about in the work corner that has nothing to do with spending money. Okay, maybe like we talked about goals earlier, maybe you can make a plan for some kind of side business you want to do, some kind of gig you've been wanting to do for a long time. You can start planning this stuff and get excited about something. Okay, so you don't have to be bored, you don't have to be ho-hum just because you got to sit at the home and you can't go out on the weekends. You got to save up some money for a little bit here. No reason to be bored. Okay, very good. So before we get into I forgot a card. Got to come back. We got brilliant idea coming up here. So not only are they saying that saving is a good idea here, but they're also saying that the nurturing, my double queens action, the nurturing of the mind, the nurturing of the money, this is all good idea. They're backing it up. Okay, so they don't want you to quit doing it. All they want you to do is not be bored doing it. They want you to start thinking of other things you can do. They want you to kind of expand your way of thinking. Now, before I get into your story 4, I am going to cut away for your moon cycles because story 4 talks about the new moon specifically. And that just so happens to be what I featured the moon cycles of this month for September. So we'll be right back with story 4. Okay guys, it is moon cycle forecast time, and the moons for September are starting to calm down. September, October, through the rest of 2023, the moon cycles are a little bit more solemn. However, you can still use this energy, the full and the new moon, to implement positive change into your life, because after all, the moon does have a gravitational lock on this planet of ours, and it's strong enough to pull the water of Earth towards space. The water bulges, and that's what the tides do, moving in and out. And after all, aren't we mostly water as well? You think it has an effect on us? Absolutely it does. So here's what's going on. Linear speaking, the first thing that hits as we enter September, we're still dealing with full moon energy from August. Now, this is the best time to get stuff out of your life. I want to focus more on the full moon later in the month, but as we enter the month early, that's when most people are checking out these videos. So I'm letting you know that right now, it's a good time to break habits, a good time to get stuff out of your life. People wrap up projects, anything that's got to go. That is the energy of the full moon here early in September. Now, I want to focus on the new moon because new moon September 14th, this is going to be significant just because I got something special to share about the new moon. I stumbled upon this a few months ago and I was waiting for the right time to do it. And this is the moon cycle where I'm going to share it. This is from a very gnostic text. I forget which one it was. It might have been the book of Adam and Eve, one of these books that was held back from the Bible, from the Pope. And very interesting things because all these events happen during the new moon. This goes back to the flood story, which is not just in biblical texts, but it's in a bunch of different religious texts. New moon, that was when Noah was commanded to make the ark. Happened on a new moon. And he entered in the ark, also on a new moon. New moon is when the water stopped. Of course, these are not sequential new moons. It's not just one after another, but these events happened under a new moon. Here's another one. The tops of the mountains were first seen under a new moon. The earth, like the bottom, the lower levels of the earth, became visible from the floods going down under a new moon. And finally, Noah went forth from the ark under, you guessed it, a new moon. So you think new moon's relevant? Or what else are they trying to tell us in that book? I would say it's quite important. So the new moon, best time to bring things into your life. Start something new. Start a new diet. Go for a new job. Try to get something new going in the work corner. Something new in the love corner. It doesn't matter. Whatever you're trying to implement into your life, the new moon brings in the manifest. So it's the best time to pray. If you're a prayer, or if you like to just manifest things with just meditation or whatever it is that you do, this is the best time, middle of the month, guys. And we get back into that full moon energy, like I told you, late in September. This is the key for getting things out. I know we talked about it being early in the month, but it happens stronger for September late. In fact, it's the 29th. So the very last few days of September are incredibly strong for getting things out of your life. Got something you got to sell, repurpose, finish up an old project, kick somebody out of your life, kick a bad habit. Doesn't matter what it is. That is full moon energy, guys. Use that to your benefit. And I also have a moon cycle cheat sheet that I always put on my website for you. It's there for free every single month. It's on my talking about page, stuff that I'm talking about. You can scroll down and see that moon cycle guide. It's a little visual aid just to help you understand how these energies move in and out. While you're there, make sure you're signed up for the newsletter as well. Give my newsletter people a couple great things every single year, usually in the terms of free readings and also great promo codes. It's just one email that I send out every single month, so that is a no-brainer. Follow the Facebook page as well. That's for contests and giveaways, all kinds of great stuff on the channel. And before I let you go, I want to tell you about the brand new service on the website. It is called Pet Connect. By popular demand, people wanting to check in on their pets, see how they're doing. A little bit of profound stuff can be had in this way. I made this product very, very affordable. I want to make it super friendly so that anybody can check this out. I know I get asked all the time about pets. Are they in heaven? Can we check in on them? All this kind of stuff. Is it even possible? The short answer is yes. It is a complicated situation, but it can be done, and to the point where I've made a product to just deliver that service to my great clients. And that is available, scottsagent.com, launching on Labor Day, guys. Labor Day is the day for that. And when you see that launch on there, there will be a video that goes with it that talks all about it, shows you the ins and outs and how it works. So check that out as well. The gemstones in the shop are still buy one, get one with the free charm. Any gemstone purchase in the shop will come with a free charm as well as a free little bag. It's kind of like a buy one, get 3 items for free, and that is running through the end of the year, so that's worth checking out as well, guys. Let's get back to your reading. Okay, Scorpio, I am back with story number 4. The connector card that they bring in first is social camaraderie, having a good time with your co-workers, with your work environment, maybe going out and drinking, having some work gatherings, some parties, bowling together, some events, whatever that is. It's coming in very good. So the story 4 feels like a lot of you are really enjoying your work situation right now. Things are looking good. And not just that, but they show new love. So I don't know if this is new love, like an actual partner potential that is popping up here. We're going to look more in chemistry tracking in a moment. But this is a good omen for new love. If that's something that you're looking for, it may happen in the workplace in the month of September. I mean, just keep an open eye out for it in case that is what they're talking about here. And this is you here in story 4. Now, the other thing that this can be is just really overflowing in love with what you do for work. And that's a wonderful thing if that's you, because there's so many people that don't. So many people are slaves to the system and hate what they do and just have to do it because, they need money, because, materialistic stuff. And that's not the case here. That's not what's showing. Either way that's read, it's a very nice thing to see. Now, they're also showing that there is huge manifestation opportunities here in story 4. You can really, using the new moon, bringing new things in, you can make new things happen with work here in this month of September. They're letting me know that you have a keen ability to do so. So I don't want you to let it go. But there is a couple things that come up here. One of them is theft, loss, or deceit. So you have to be a little careful about what you're trying to manifest here. If it's a new idea, be careful who you tell. They might steal that idea from you. If you're going to pitch something to an investor, make sure that your idea is protected, that they cannot steal it from you. And anything else that would fall under theft, loss, deceit, that would be coming up here. Be on the lookout for it. Keep your eyes open, because there's something fuzzy in there that the Spirit is saying, hey, you got to look out for this. The next thing we show here is death. So my death card, which does not mean physical death more than likely, it usually means a renewal of some form, a complete energetic renewal. So they want you to redo or kind of rethink something like completely down to the core where you don't do it at all anymore. This would be like, let's say, for example, you smoke cigarettes at work. Okay, this would be like a complete eradication of it. If you don't want to be doing that anyway, now is a good time to not be doing it anyway, right? So this is like letting you know here, whatever you're trying to do with bringing in, it almost feels like something's got to go first, but it's almost like you're ready for it to go. Not only are you ready for it to go, but this is like, everything is in potential for you to build something brand new here. And this is just letting you know that it needs to be full. You need to go 110% with this. You cannot go 99. You cannot go 98.5, 99.5, 99.9. No. 100 plus 110% is what you need to do here. They want you to find peace. That's what comes next in my Oracle Angel card. It says in the card, peace comes from remembering that only love is real. I focus the most on peace. They want you to get to a place where you can just be like, and feel good about it in your work corner. And even though this is a wonderful story, there's something in here that is still unfinished. It is unfinished business, and they want you to get to that point where you can relax and you can find that peace. So there we go with story 4. Very good. That concludes the first part of your reading, the main part of your reading. Now we're getting into the extended portion. We're going to do your Rune Stone first while I'm looking at all the cards. They're already mixed up. Give them one more swirl. And here we go. The Rune Stone for Scorpio is going to be this one right here. And this is the rune of growth. Growth. And so when this comes up, Spirit is trying to remind you that sometimes growth takes a long time. Sometimes growth is a little slow. Sometimes it doesn't happen overnight. You don't get things as fast as you want them to go. Things take a little bit longer than you want. So growth, let's go through the stories. Growth in the first story is that this person has to grow from their lessons that they're learning through. Now what you can do, you can just be the guidance in their ear, help them grow. Story number 2, growth very much starts very good on its own. We have no need for growth there, but we have growth learning to deal with somebody, some situation, another entity in this situation. So there's growth to be had that is coming very soon, not here yet, right this moment. Story 3, growth is very much about the nurturing of your finances, letting them grow, growing up here, goals, okay? And then growth in story 4, of course, is the new ideas in 3, and also over here the new manifestations that can happen. What do you want to grow? That's what story 4 is about. It's not about what you're growing right now. It's about what you can grow, what you can grow to be, all those kind of things. So there we go with growth through all your stories. And now we're going to get into your chemistry tracking. Chemistry tracking, a brand new one I'm doing here. So we need to see, the card work's already done, guys. I do that ahead of time just to save us a bunch of time, because otherwise this reading would be forever long. Now I always like to give Spirit an out here in case they don't want to talk about one of these things. But they did not do that for you. They were very chatty. In fact, they gave you both. So Scorpio, for your week connection in September, they bring it to your attention. You're going to be weekly connected to Gemini. Gemini. Just not going so well. You know, if you're single, I wouldn't go with a Gemini. Oh, if you just meet one, for example, and it's basically Spirit's way of saying this is a bad person for you, not a match, not going to turn out very good. For everybody else, maybe this is a minor thing. Maybe a friend of yours is a Gemini and you're going to butt heads about something. We did talk about that in one of the stories, maybe a coworker. So anyway, the energy is just a little off between you and Geminis. Now, what are you very strong with? Scorpio, you are very strong with Aries in the month of September. That is kicking high gear. You and Aries are a huge match. Okay, so keep that in mind too. Again, for my singles that are looking out, Aries would be Spirit's way of saying, hey, this is a good person right here. Maybe if you have a friend who's in Aries, you're going to have a great time together hanging out in September or something like that. Anyway, take it for what you will. But that is your weak Gemini and your strong Aries. There you go with chemistry tracking. Now we get into your extra spread, which is your angel protection. Now I did promise you guys 2 of them. Here we go. The first one that they want to talk about is teaching and learning. This is a double-edged sword here, guys. It says in the card specifically, it says keep an open mind, learn new ideas, and then teach these ideas to others. That's wisdom, guys. That is passing it on. Otherwise, the knowledge just dies within you, right? So they're showing you on one of these 2 sides. Some of us are teachers, others of us are learners. Sometimes we're both in different parts of our lives. But here I want you to consider, maybe if you're the teacher, if there's something that you know that is very rare, you have a unique skill set that maybe you can pass on, teach to somebody else, great month to do it, guys. Learning, you guys are a sponge if you want to learn new things. We live in a wonderful internet era, information era, where you can learn just about anything you want to online for free, for usually no cost. For our other card, we have breathe. Take several deep breaths, exhale slowly to awaken your energy and release old patterns. I pay the most attention to release old patterns. They talked about that in story 1. This person, they need to release these patterns, stop making these same mistakes over and over. So that's probably attached there. But also, where did I do that exhale from? It says in the card to exhale. Take several deep breaths and exhale slowly. We talked about that in story 4, where I said when you find that peace and you can just, that is what they want you to do. So remember, there's old patterns that need to go. We talked about that with the renewal. And remember to keep breathing. That's good advice for all of us, all the signs. There we go. There's your angel protection, guys. Keep breathing, keep going. You're going to make it. Now we're going to get into some homily, guys. This is the last little section, brand new section, a little spiritual pep talk. I got a story to share with you. I hope you guys will enjoy it. Okay, guys, it is time for your homily, September 2023. The very first homily ever is being recorded right now. You are a part of history, guys. So the topic that I want to talk to you about today is a realization that I had at a water park last month, of all places. That's what kind of inspired me to tell you this story and kind of make this part of your extended reading. And I took my daughter on a small mini vacation to South Florida. That's kind of where this whole thing started. Went to a water park. It was very small, but very nice, very pleasurable. It had a little kids section, a couple larger slides for more of the adults. The kids love that too. And a lazy river, which of course everybody likes. And you know what a lazy river is more than likely. And if you don't, it's just a small little stream that current pushes you around, mostly in inner tubes. So this is where my story takes place that I wanted to share with you guys. I was going down the lazy river, and it was a small course. It maybe took you about 10-15 minutes to go around the whole thing. And they had some good water squirts that would happen. You know, sometimes it was like a waterfall where you just got penetrated by water, just that was like free falling. Other times it was pressurized, like more of like a squirt gun and like a spray, and just different kind of textures and varieties that you'd pass through and go under. And it was very nice. And I'd been through it a couple times, and my good friend took my daughter to go on the big slide. She wanted to go on the big slide, so I was in the lazy river by myself, and I'd already been around the course a couple times by this point, so I knew the course pretty well, at least I thought I did. And I decided, you know what, I'm just going to try something a little different here. I'm sitting on this inner tube, going down a nice little current in a course. I decided to close my eyes and see what changed when I did so. Now, everything changed. First of all, your senses heighten. When you're looking like this, you're blindfolded, you know, your hearing, especially there, hearing was what's heightened the most for me. I was hearing that water coming way ahead of time, and I was apprehensive. I didn't know when it was coming. I just knew that it was. And I didn't know if I was going to be pushed into it or if I was going to be pushed around it, because there's kind of different ways you could go. And it just changes things when you don't see it. When you cannot see what's coming, it changes the way that your body reacts to it. It's just almost like a chemical reaction. You don't have a choice in the matter. It's just the way that it is. And it wasn't scary, but I could see for some people that it could be. And the only reason it wasn't scary is because I knew I was safe. If I was doing that like in an actual river, I would be a little scared, because I'd be wondering if that noise I'm hearing is actually like a waterfall or like a pretty big drop, or, you know, something dangerous was gonna happen to me. Of course, it was a controlled environment, so it wasn't scary, but you still had the stress. You still had the apprehension and the nerves very heightened. So the realization that I ended up having, basically the moral of this whole story, is that it reminded me of people who do not seek any kind of spiritual progress with this, with their daily path, their daily lives, tarot readings, a little bit of divination and forecasting, because that's what it does. It allows you to open your eyes to see the things that are coming. Most people are just driving blind. They're going through their entire lives like this. What I do, the ability to forecast and share my divination with you in this way, and with my personal private readings especially, you can look into all that stuff. You can see the things that are coming. You can plan and prepare a little bit for things. So it's not so scary. You don't have to be apprehensive about things. It gives you a calm, just knowing when things are coming and how you can align certain things to these occurrences that are in some ways going to come regardless. Sometimes you go around it. Sometimes you go through it. So that is your homily for September 23. Thank you so much for tuning into the readings. I hope you have enjoyed it as much as I have delivering it to you. I hope you have a great September. I know you will.
So I guess the fortune teller's right.